What's going on, Prop Nation? Here we are in the Drew Estate Experience Acid Studio and Lounge. We've got drywall. The guys have been out here. I wish I would have caught the guys before they started hanging drywall. Anybody can hang drywall. It really, anybody can do it. I know there's some drywall guys out there like, yeah, but only the good. Yeah, there are some fantastic drywall guys. I did drywall finishing for years. There were crews we begged to come after because they were perfect. Then you got crews like the guys that hung my drywall. Let's step a little bit closer. You see there's a gap here where there's a little filler piece. Now, that wasn't their fault. In the planning stages, these ceilings are 2 inches too high, 1.5 inches or whatever, but almost 2 inches too high. So that means a 4x8 sheet of plywood sitting on top of a 4x8 sheet of plywood should have been perfect. Went to the ceiling, went to the floor, no gap. Somebody didn't check somebody else's numbers and take into consideration drywall. It is what it is. If I would have caught the guys, I would have butted the bottom to the top, and this 2-inch filler piece would have went on the bottom. No big deal. I wouldn't even have finished it. I'd have got 4 to 6 inch baseboard and I would have covered it. Nobody would ever have seen it. Now, as a drywall finisher, this is a nightmare. This is an absolute nightmare. So instead of having a finished seam this wide, I'll probably end up with a finished seam this wide. You'll never see this, ever. Like I said, I'll get this finished out. Now, I do have another crew coming in because I do have a knee injury. And I'm like, do I really want to, save a couple $1,000s by doing the finishing myself? Or do I want to have another crew come in? So I do have another crew giving me a price. If it's within like an extra budget, I'm probably going to have that crew do it because I don't want to deal with this because I work a full-time job. So this job should have only taken me, 5 days, maybe 7 days working after I get out of work. But because of this little section here, that probably doubled it to 10 days. That's just a nightmare. So, but it is what it is. That's the drywall. So if you're thinking about a lounge, think about that. Now, the way around that was to buy 12-foot sheets of drywall and then stand them on their end. And then, we would have had, these are called butt joints. We'd have had those regularly. And yeah, someone probably noticed this outlet should always be in the middle. Having to finish a seam next to an outlet, another nightmare, and a lot of outlets are like that. It sucks. We've got, okay, so we've got all the, these were all the recessed lights are gonna be. You'll notice that there's 2 holes in there because when the electricians were, running all the electrical, they stapled the wires to the rafters just so they wouldn't get in the way. So the guys, when they hung the drywall, just hung them up there and just poked the hole in the drywall. Not taking into consideration, I've got to put recessed can lights in there, which are like 5 inches, and the holes have to come out so we can drill a hole and pop the can lights in there. Once again, as a finisher, we can finish that hole. Finishers are what make your home beautiful. They make the wall seamless and you never see what's behind the paint and primer. So I'll fix that. Another thing we'll fix. Now this one was a little bit more difficult. I'm gonna cut them a little bit of slack. That hole's not overly big for the exhaust fan. I may actually not end up filling that in. I may look at some medallions to put over that, because I'm thinking I might want a little bit of movement on that fan. But yeah, so we may end up just doing some medallions, putting it up there. You'll never see it, kind of like being a decorative piece. But it is, another thing, it is what it is. So yeah, let's go into the humidor. Oh my God, it looks so small before the drywall came in. I mean, I can't even touch the walls, the wall to where the other wall will be. If you remember, like I said, we don't have the other wall up yet. It'll be, this is where the green board stopped. It'll probably be somewhere about right here. We do have a lot of other reasons for not putting that wall up yet. We got some stuff that needs to come in that wall. It was actually going to be, it was going to save me, you know, probably a couple $1,000s by putting that wall up last versus putting it up now. So we'll get that wall built, push it into place, run what we have to run inside that wall, insulate it and drywall it. You'll notice this is green board. So green board goes in the bathroom, mold, I don't want to say resistance, but it's for wet places. So we'll have, obviously the humidor is going to be a wet environment. We'll put a really good primer on here. We'll put a really good paint on here. And then we will put, the cedar up there. We'll try and get them as tight as we can so no moisture can ever creep behind the or not the cedar. I think we're gonna run Brazilian cherry. No moisture can ever get behind the wood to get any mold or mildew on the walls behind it. So that's the reason why we chose the green board. So then we've got my new office. So this is massive compared to what I have now. So I think we're at 8 feet wide. We're probably, I don't even know, we're 12, 14 foot long. So it's going to be a huge office. Be able to put, it's not like a lounge office, a lot more shelving for product. We got the, obviously the hole for the attic access, so we can access all the electrical and everything inside this, this lounge. Yeah, I didn't put enough outlets. I try to put as many outlets as I can, and now that I got my office done, I'm like, I should have put more outlets in. So like I said, that's my garage. We got a door that's gonna go in there that'll seal up this. We've got a nice door that we'll be able to walk out of here. It'll have a nice glass front on the door so we can see inside the humidor, because that's cool to see inside of it. We'll probably have some LEDs. I'll get the thick glass so it doesn't leak. It'll be it'll seal down to the floor, kind of like a garage door, so it'll have a threshold to keep everything in. And because we've got the sun that comes in through this door, that's actually beaming me right here, we'll definitely get this glass UV coated, so no sunshine can get in it at all. So yeah, that's where we're at. So if you're building something, have them take into consideration drywall, and try and build your rooms. Like I said, if you can build a room, because drywall comes in, 4x8 sheets, 4x12 sheets. We used to work with guys that would design rooms, especially, your like bedrooms, and they would be 8x12, so two, and there's no drywall hanger that likes lifting 4x12 sheets of drywall, but coming in there, 4x12 on all the walls, ceilings, everything, very little cuts, and it makes their job a whole lot quicker. They can bang out a house. We can come in and finish out a house like super quick. So we love those builders that just take all the little things into consideration. So I know we got a lot of people following this build and what to do and what not to do. So that's one thing that you want to take into consideration, the size of whatever you're putting on the walls. No weird cuts, no rounded stuff. I know it's, I love turtleback ceilings. I would love to have put a turtleback ceiling in here, but I hated finishing those. Looked beautiful, they were tough to do, so we decided not to do that. So, all right, cats and kittens, that's it. That's our latest update on the new Cigar Lounge. So, all right, we'll catch you next time.